Hello everyone, it's me again as always, Josh the funkdoc, and we have ourselves a lovely 4-player game on Germany. We've been hitting this map lately, but I think Germany is the toughest map to play well, as I've said before, at least the toughest of the BSW maps. So it's one that I really would like to get a lot of videos of. And I always appreciate these opportunities with strong sets of players. And we have a really strong 4 here today. It's me, Mastaba, Daroj, and the legend psteinx. That's what we got today. I'm not in the mood to pay 6 for this plant. Also, funny thing, this is the exact same map config we had on the last Germany 4-player game I had on here. So, with this one, I'm pretty confident with the builds. I will pay $9 for the 4 here if Mastaba doesn't. I suspect he will. Yeah, okay, I'm not paying 10. Yeah, 3 and 4, big deal in Germany. Stein goes for the 8. Interesting. Definitely taking the 5. I want to police Cole for the 8 there, and also not build last. That's nice. I was a little surprised Stein went for the 8, though. This is even the kind of map where I could see you going for the 9 instead of the 8 as the last plant taken. I'm curious what Stein sees here. Knowing him, there's usually something to it. All right. All right. I'd like to see if I can at least get up to the same win rate as Stein. I've been on a good streak overall since I started playing this game again. Ah, daroj takes the safe 2 build over here. That's a strong build there. Although you could argue Schwerin is a little better than Lubeck, possibly. Probably not the biggest deal, though. We're definitely going to get 2 players building in this area, and then 1 down here is what I expect. Mastaba can do triple build here. Yes, there we go. Like I've said before, I think that is the exact optimal build here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to build 1. Because this will actually guarantee that I get bottom in the turn order if I only build 1 city here. And I think I'm going to choose Köln because if Stein builds it here, I can just go down here and still get a decent number of cities for step 1. Like, the nice thing about building here is that it kind of discourages Stein from going into here. This way, I'm more encouraging Stein to go fight over here somewhere. And that he does. Okay, I'm fine with this. I'm definitely grabbing Duisburg as my next city, and after that, probably eyeing the south. $50 goes under the deck, 20 comes in. The market's going to be blocked pretty decently given that 17 is here on the first turn of the game. Cool. There's a little bidding on the 10, so I can pass now. I don't want to bid any extra for the 10. Not a big fan of the 10 as much in Germany usually. So yeah, it's going for a decent price now. That's just fine. 13 feels like maybe overpaying a little bit to me for the 10. Given that the 20 is there and is going to be... 20 could come on and be bought as early as next turn. So I'm not that hot on the 10. Cannot see paying more than 13 for this. Even 13 feels like a little bit of a stretch to me, though I can understand it. You want to be sure to end... Like, I get wanting to make sure you end up with some kind of acceptable plant this turn. Anyway, you best believe I'm bidding for this. Damn well better believe I'm bidding for this. With 17 as the next plant on deck? Yeah. I'm bidding. Okay. Sure. Mastaba drops the 20 for Stein. Interesting. Only thing is, I wonder if Stein could even buy it. And if the issue is, if Stein buys a 20, yeah, okay, because, yeah, I agree. Stein actually, I think, made the right move passing there. Even though the 20 looks to be a huge improvement over the 8, the problem is the amount of money you have at this point in the game. I think what I do now is get 1 coal and 1 oil. Yeah. Right? Is that or coal? You know what? Attacking coal is probably more important, given we have 20 and 25 both on the horizon. But yeah, anyway. Stein almost certainly... Stein very likely would not have been able to afford 3 coal had he bought the 20 there. In which case, he couldn't power any cities at all. I mean, look at this right now. Yeah, Stein would be screwed. Like, this would be too much money to pay for 3 coal, so yeah, Stein would have been only powering 0 cities, making $10. Anyway, I'm obviously taking Duisburg now. It's just a really tiny jump to this point, and it gets me more in the way of useful connections in this area. Oh, 38 was the thing. Okay. I forgot to mark off 28, 25 and 38. Well, that's 2 of the absolute best Step 3 plants, usually, going under the deck there, 50 and 38. I'm glad someone else can put 20 up for bid so that I don't have to. Because you best believe I ain't touching the 20. Not with coal getting this expensive already, not with 25 up next in the market. 25, on the other hand, I'll bid for that. A little. I'm not in a great position to buy a plant this turn, though, because I paid a bit extra for the 13 last turn, so I'm a little short on cash compared to a couple of the other players at this point. Mastaba buys the 7. Interesting play. Mastaba going for the 7. I can see why, because oil's so cheap. I can see it. I'm sure not bidding for it, though. Here we go. This is what we want. Very coal-heavy market right now, I see. Anyway, I'm thinking this is going to be Stein's plant. Stein doesn't bid for 25. Okay. Ooh! That is a plant I will bid for. Now, the issue is, I won't be able to build a 3rd city if I do buy this, but I don't really care. This will be a really useful plant for the long term. We could potentially be in for a little bit of a stall here, with all these high plants showing up early. Yep. Okay. Stein will probably... And Stein, I imagine, will take the... Yeah, Stein takes the 20 now. Okay, that's fine. Personally, I'd rather have the 27 for the price I paid than 20 at cost. That's just me. This does put me in a little bit of an awkward spot for... with still having resources on the 5 there. Nice thing is, with me not building this turn, I'll still get to build before Mastaba on the next turn. Problem is, both Munster and Aachen could already be closed off by then. What's extra nice, though, is if nobody else builds in the Twins, I can build in the Twins next turn and at least secure this whole rest of blue for myself here. I could do that. Yeah, Stein builds Munster, which is completely expected. Stein really wants to close in on the cheap part of the map. Yep. And Mastaba takes Aachen as so I knew Munster and Aachen were both going to be closed off to me. I figured as much. Now I get to go south, though. And I should be guaranteed to get that this next turn. I'll have just enough money to do that. Build both of these, which is big for blocking opponents in this area. At any rate, my plan for now is probably just to stall at 4 cities. Wait for an opportunity to grab a coal plant. I might actually buy 31. Like if that were to come out of the market, I might look to target that. Just because I already have 2 coal stored on this plant. I will not have enough money in me to buy any extra resources this turn, which is fine. But yeah, what I could go for is on the next turn, bid for 31, and then just stay at 4 cities for the rest of step 1, powering them for free with my green plants. And then with the, 31 plus green plants combo, just hope to build up enough money that I can build in step 2 and make use of that combo. And just don't buy any more plants at all until step 3. That's what the plan I would look for here. Stein takes Hanover, which I think is a really obvious build. He wants to threaten Magdeburg, because that would help really help cut off Daroj. And Stein gets first build on the next turn, which is sweet. The fact that Stein cannot build to 5 cities this turn is a good sign. That's a good omen in terms of my money compared to his. $21. Well, this is a darn good plant that people are going to want to buy. Someone's not going to be me, though. Alternately. What I could do. Here's a possibility. I could buy this and then replace the 5 with that, so I don't have to worry about my resources going to waste. That's a thing I could do. $21 would also make sense for Stein. Not the worst plant for him. He might be looking more at 28, though. Mastaba. There's an argument for Mastaba bidding 21 here. Great for turn order. Oil, oil's cheap. It prevents other people from using oil, but he'll let me have it. And 30 comes on. Okay. Well, this should be bid decently. Maybe? Mastaba should bid for this at least. If nothing else, as a plant you can use later. There's a 31 I was talking about, but honestly, given that this is Germany, I might be happier with 21 compared to 31. Mastaba's probably going to buy 28 now, I bet. He's kind of fenced in with builds, so it makes sense for him to stall at 4 cities with the 28. Yep. I called it. That's 28. I forgot to mark off 31. Dang. I'm kind of worried about Daroj as a threat now, because trash is just going to keep getting cheaper. Daroj does not, he won't need to run the 30 during step 1. He should be able to build a 5th city this turn and use the 25. The nice thing with the plant setup I have now is that it'll set me up to make really good money and stay low in the turn order for step 2. What I feel like I want to do here is not buy any extra resources this turn, first of all. Because I'm guaranteed to drop below Mastaba and Daroj in the turn order at least, and very likely Stein as well, because Stein's going to build a 5th city. Stein has no other plants to run. He needs to get the most money possible out of his 20, therefore Stein has to build a 5. And we know Daroj is building to 5 also, so obvious play is now I just chill at the bottom. Powering 4 cities for free. A play I could make next turn. I don't know if I have the money for this. We'll see. Actually, I could do this. I could build to 8 next turn. It's a play I can make. Because we could be in for a long market stall here, and building now would help alleviate that. Like me building to 8 now, because I'd make a shitload of money off of that. I mean, I'll still bid for 32. A little bit, at least. But yeah, this should be a plant that people bid a lot for now. I'll pass now, though. I mean, again, I'm not in a position to bid for 32, really. Daroj, this is interesting because Daroj has oil stored in 3, so Daroj has a little more incentive to bid for this plant. But with Mastaba, it gets him to 10 base capacity, so he can get to 17 with just one more plant in step 3 as a possibility. And I believe, yes, we've already seen all of the 7 capacity plants in this game. We know that all 3 of them are in the game now. 36, 46, and then 38, which went under the deck earlier. So we know they're all in the game. That would be an incentive to go for the 6-4 in capacity. 29 is an interesting one. Daroj doesn't need it, though. Stein is going to use it, and chances are I'd have to pass. Because I feel like 29 would have to be the plant for Stein to buy. No, Stein passes. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm going to pass too. All right. I think I have exactly enough money to buy 2 oil to use this turn and build all these 8 cities here. That leaves me with exactly 5, and I can buy 2 oil for exactly 5. I think this is my play. I just need to build out, make money now, and I have enough connections to different places, particularly getting castle, that helps, that, you know, I should be able to build somewhere in step 2 if I need. Not that I even really need to build in step 2 if I'm doing this now. I feel like this is the best way to get the most value out of my my 21 it cost earlier, compared to these other people getting bigger plants here. I need to kind of push the game out. You know, push the game along, get more plants onto the market before people really have the money for them. Although really 26 would be the only big one left. But even still, I just really want to push the money lead at this point. And, You decide on something here. Couple options for this one. Could put 31 up for bid. Possibly. Although, there's a very, very, very slight chance that would put 35 up on the market. And 35 would be huge. A couple things I could do. I could do either 21 or 29. Having 2 4s would be kind of awkward. And I feel like that would get me kind of high up in the turn order. I don't know about this. Not many... Okay, I need to think here. If I buy 29, how much can I even build this turn? That's what I'm thinking about. Because Mastaba and Daroj are not going to buy plants this turn. It's really just me and Stein that would be looking at anything. 29 would be beautiful for Stein. And this is a super strong step 3 market so far. So there is that. I think I'll pass. That's tough. Like, I'm not even really thinking about 31 here. Really, for me, it was either 29 or pass. And I feel like at this stage, I'd rather pass. Stein's going to get 29 at cost. It's going to be sweet for him. But Stein was kind of not making great money earlier in the game. I feel like Stein has to take 29, though. That's my hunch. That's the plant that's going to make the most money for him by far, and Stein needs money. Yeah. We're in the chat. We're discussing the situation in the chat here. We know, yeah, like I said, Daroj and Mastaba cannot buy a plant this turn. They both have 2 potential endgame plants, 2 sure endgame plants in Daroj's case. And they just need to build. All they have to do at this point is just build. Stein goes for 29 as expected. Yeah, that's the plant that I think makes the most sense for him for sure. We get another dud coming in as expected. There's a lot of potential duds left in the deck now. 31, not likely to stay on next turn. It is a plant, I don't know though. We'll see. Like, next turn I'm expecting to drop potentially all the way down to bottom in the turn order maybe. And then I could take a look at 31 if it stays in the market, because I should be able to store 2 turns worth of coal for it at an okay price and build to make use of it. Or then there's that happening. So maybe, yeah, I don't really want 31. Part of my thinking of passing on 29 is, again, the desire to stay low in the turn order for step 3. Especially because I built up top in the turn order for the first turn of step 2. This is the what I guess you could call the J-Bode corollary. J-Bode has told me this one before, that you don't want to be at top of the turn order for both the first turn of step 2 and the first turn of step 3. So that was my thinking with passing on 29. If I get 29, I would have to build up to 11 cities to make good use of it, make money from 29 to make it worth it. And that would cost me a lot in terms of turn order, most likely. Mastaba only builds to 7. Okay. That's an awkward number for him. Because you don't really want to run the 32 and the 9 together. You don't want to make oil any more expensive than you have to. And Daroj opts not to build. Okay. Well, I'm going to stay patient and not build either. I don't need extra cities at this point. I'm really glad I bought that extra oil now. So yeah, I am just gunning for turn order here. So Stein could be in a little bit of a dicey situation for Cole. Because he is looking like a main competitor in this game. He probably has more money than Daroj, I think. I don't know, though. I'm still worried about that damn 30 it costs for Daroj. I can't help but feel like that's going to be such a huge deal in the long run. And then that I have to believe that should make me regard Daroj as more of a threat than Stein. I don't know. $14, so here comes the stall, baby. This is what I was talking about earlier. What's interesting is Stein would be the player who would want to build and break a stall if need be, because if the game just stalls from here, Daroj is going to win free because of that 30. Stalls will favor the player with the most capacity, and that's definitely Daroj at this point. Daroj is the only player with 11 base capacity. Mastaba is 10, Stein is 9, and I'm at a measly 7. I mean, my thinking is with Germany that money is what really matters, which is why I went for the plants I did. And I do, and still, like, 29, getting 29 would not really have helped my base capacity. Coal's the same price as oil, so I'm definitely buying extra coal this turn. And now Daroj builds big as expected. I actually have the lowest numbered top plan of anyone at this point with 27. So I could build one this turn to block Stein. That would be Aachen. Aachen would be the place I would build. And the nice thing is I'm guaranteed to get Aachen before Stein. So I would do that now. I am going to do that now. Because I'm running out of other places to build. Ooh. Okay, so I got my turn order set up here very nicely. I'm like making so much more money per turn than Stein. Capacity is a problem for me though. Yay, 11 gone. 33. Well, that's disappointing to see because that's a plant that would have put 31 on deck. Up onto the market, I mean. Here's a thought. If nothing else. Okay. I could buy 22 solely to move the market. It would be the next plant I'd replace, though. But I think it's a move I should make. Because I already have 9 cities. This wouldn't affect my turn order at all. I can already power this extra city. Yeah, I'm doing this. The nice thing is people should build enough that daroj can end the game. I'm expecting a massive coal buy from... No, okay, Stein's not going to do the massive coal buy. Alright. Alright. Yeah. That 30 is such a problem, though. I still think daroj is going to win because of that. It was such an awkward time for me to bid on plants there. Or no, wait, 30 came after I bought 21. That's right. That one just came out of nowhere, too. Lucky daroj. That was lucky, but also good on daroj for being in the right spot to take advantage of that. Interesting that daroj doesn't buy oil. Like, in his position, I would buy oil and run it on the 3 because you already have 12 cities and it would attack other players. Anyway, I'm obviously not building now. I need to cling to bottom in the turn order for dear life. And freaking 18 comes on after 22. This is bad. So what I'm going to do is try to force someone to build. I'm trying to force someone to build 14 out of the game. Possibly 14 and 15. Both. Get them out of the game. See what they do. And given how my builds are really badly blocked for step 2, I feel like I'm not the player to do that. Yeah, daroj builds 14 out of the game. And we get another dud. Okay, there's step 3. Alright. Okay. Well, the problem now is... like, daroj's builds are going to get crazy blocked in, like, the whole cheap part of the map here. But I don't know if it's going to... I'm not sure it's going to matter all that much. I mean, he has built everywhere here, but, like, there's still here, for example. Like, worst case scenario, daroj could still go south and end the game. So 22 ended up costing me money. Although it did get us to step 3. So there's something to be said for that. Oh, 37 was the other plant that went under that I didn't catch. Okay. So that's really the only dud left. any rate, with my ridiculous amounts of money here, I need to go for a 7 plant. I need to go for a 7, and screw the rest is where I'm at now. So yeah, I probably lost. Let me think, because powering 8 cities versus 9. Powering 8 cities versus 9 is an extra $8. So 22 minus 8. So I lost. So net, I lost $14 on buying the 22, but it ended up being, well, no, well, yeah, it did end up being a necessity to get us to step 3, because if we passed on plants, 14 would have been removed from the game, and that plant would have been built out. The way I did it, I bought a plant, and then 14 and 15 both got built out of the market anyway. I actually think that was a huge mistake by Daroj. Daroj should have stalled and not built, and then that would have given us. We would not have gotten to step 3 next turn. He could have just won the game there. We had to completely sell out on builds to stop him. Actually, wait, never mind. There's 36 right there. That's the plant that I'm going for. The nice thing is that it should be pretty cheap for me, 36, because it's a plant that no one else can really touch at this point. It'll hang around as a worst-case scenario kind of plant. And Daroj is in a rough spot now. Ooh, yeah, I see. Ooh, that's great news for the rest of us. That he can only get to 16 capacity. Well, and Stein, I assume, buys 40. Stein's not going to want. Oh no, Stein does put 36 over it. I'll bid for 36. Yes, please. I'll bid for 36. I can't quite buy out Stein's coal if I get 36, but I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, so there's a 2 in 5 chance of one of the other 7 capacity plants coming if I don't get this. 40 is an acceptable plant as worst case scenario here. There's a bad drop after this, but I still need to bid heavy for this, for security. Yeah. And the worst plant left in the deck came, 37. Okay. 38, 1 plant after. Wow, if Stein had gotten that drop, then oh boy. This will be interesting now, because mastaba is the only one who can match Daroj in capacity, and I assume he's going to do that. Build to 16. Okay, what's the play here? I have this amount of coal. Okay, what do I do here? What do I do in this scenario? I think I just build to 14 and stop there, personally. It's probably my play. And I definitely think Daroj would be the player we'd have to build here, so I just build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I just build. I have exactly 5 cities remaining in this cheap part of the map, so I just build that. Yeah, that's my move. Stop Daroj. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm just going all out here. I think that I should be the favorite to win this if the game goes another turn. Probably. Well, I don't know, because I would still have to buy another 7, but we have 2 7s left in the deck of 3... No, 1 7 left in the deck with 3 more plants. We have a 7 already out there, so I'll have 2 chances to get the plant I need for 18. anyway. Stein has to build Aachen, I would think. Stein is leaving Aachen open. He does have he does have cheaper cities up here, so that makes sense. And Stein blocking the twins is a power move, for sure. So yeah, Daroj's best build left is like here. He's going to have to jump past the twins down here, which actually isn't too expensive, I guess. But even still. Mastaba might build in these step 2 spots as well. Make it more painful. Yep, there he goes. Take all the step 2 spots down there, and then Mastaba, what he should do after that is he's going to have to end up building into Daroj. Probably he has to build ahead of me up here. Please build to 16. You can take Trier. Take Trier, bruh. Trier. Trier is your cheapest city left, dude. I didn't end up getting blocked too badly up north. There he goes. Okay. Because if we have a next turn, I'll get decent builds. Because I can go into here, here, here. Here, here. Yeah, like I can just jump over into 1, 2, 3, 4 to go for 18. So I actually get surprisingly decent builds left for my last 4. If Daroj doesn't just end the game now. Which, I mean, we made his builds expensive enough that I suspect he won't. He might just stop his build now in order to not be top in the turn order. Because Daroj, if he doesn't build this turn, then, especially because he didn't store coal, that's interesting that he didn't buy extra coal. That's going to leave him in a tough spot if there's another turn. Unfortunately, that might push him to end it now. Yep, he ends it. Damn it. Again, I really think I could have won this game if it went another turn, but I can see that it's probably not going to do that. 30 at cost ended up being such a problem. Like, I still suspect Daroj probably wins. 30 had to have made him so much money, being at cost. Oh, Masa's going to win. Alright, so I'm going to finish in last place here. Congrats to Mastaba. Daroj was feeling desperate and ended early, and it ended up costing him, I think. If he had gone one more turn, I think he could have done it because he was going to replace 25. So I played this game right in terms of making money, for sure. Yeah, I really felt like, yeah, if daroj didn't end it there, I don't know, daroj would have been in a decent spot for next turn, I think. In terms of money, we were probably about equal, actually. Or maybe I was even a little bit richer than daroj. We both would have needed a 7 plant to get to 18, though. That would have been interesting. Yep. Oh well. Good job to Mastaba. Mastaba was a player I didn't really see as a threat throughout the game. He kind of felt it kind of seemed like he was almost like in last to me of anyone. But daroj had that tricky decision of whether to end early, and that's what gave it to Mastaba. Interesting end there. And yeah, I don't even really feel bad about how I played there. Game just ended up stalling a hair too long for me. And arguably even then, I don't know. But yeah, interesting game, and grats to Mastaba, and good night.